First away day of the season, West Ham v Leicester. Let's go. Time 1-0 down. Deserved, really. We haven't really created anything of substance. We got red card, Perez out of nowhere. No one in the crowd had any idea what the hell it was for. When they showed it on the screen, seems like fair, but what can you do? Second half to come. Let's hope for a better one.
Seems like a nice left. Yeah.
Oh dear, Cags, what are you doing? Game on! Could have gone a little bit better, couldn't it? So yeah, we lost 4-1. We got absolutely battered, really. 1-0 down at half-time, a man down at half-time. I mean, the red card is a red, sadly. I know that there'll be some Leicester fans probably and some other fans maybe saying that he didn't mean it, or that it wasn't intentional, therefore it shouldn't be a red. That isn't really how it works, unfortunately. I think the one thing is, before that red, Perez was pushed by Cresswell. And as Rodgers has come out and said afterwards, if he'd been a bit more of a scumbag cheat, he could have just gone down because he got pushed and he would have got a free kick. But instead he tried to stay up and just wipes him out. And yeah, that's a red, which when you put that on top of the fact that West Ham scored a really, really nice goal to go 1-0 up, yeah, was not the best first half that I've ever seen. A very, very long journey down there. Took about 3 hours to get to the ground. That was fun. And yeah, when you see a first half like that, it's just not ideal. Again, touching on the red card, he clearly didn't mean it, but it doesn't matter. You can't have your foot that high up on someone's leg. You're going to go. So that I think was perfectly fair. In terms of everything else in the first half, we didn't really do anything at all, did we? Anything. It was shocking. West Ham had the better chances, obviously scored the goal, and they just looked like the better team. We go to the second half, and I'll put the overall stats on the screen at this point, so you can see how everything panned out. But the second half, man, I mean, obviously being a man down, it's not going to help you. But even still, we were terrible and West Ham were very, very good. I thought Declan Rice deserves a massive shout out for yesterday's performance. He was fantastic. I'm not normally a guy who absolutely loves the way that he plays. There are times where he looks a fantastic player. And last night, 100% was one of those games. He ran the midfield. He was intercepting everything. His passing was on point. Fair play. Fantastic performance from him. Ben Rama, absolute baller. Really, really looking like this is the season where he shines. Again, last season, I was so jealous that West Ham managed to sign him ahead of us. I thought he was going to be the guy that we were going to go for to try and finally solve this lack of tricky, creative player kind of thing. We ended up getting under on loan. It didn't really work out. I thought Ben Rama was going to be the one, but was not to be. And it was also not to be for his season. He just didn't really shine very well. And then when Jesse Lingard came in on loan, he basically got benched every single game so that Lingard could play, who did really well. And so Said didn't really get a chance in the team, but started off pre-season really well. And now he is cooking so far. He's got a goal and assist in both games. If he keeps playing like that, then West Ham are going to be a real force this season, to be honest with you. And you then combine that with Antonio. He's a bit of a baller, isn't he? I actually went to a pub with my West Ham supporting mate after the game and decided after a little while to reveal my shirt, and that was fun. Just getting a load of Leicester banter chants at me was great. But before I did that, he's basically all that anyone sings about. They love him, and you can see why. He's transitioned from a right back all the way up to a striker, a lone striker role where he is thriving right now. The turn that he did for the third goal in the game to get past Soyuncu, he left him for dead. And then the final goal, the touch out of the air and then to prod it home, fair play. The guy is looking like an absolute monster right now, and as I say, if you can get that link up between like Ben Rama and Antonio and stuff like that for the remainder of the season with people like Cresswell and Soufal whipping in balls, Souček coming in from deep, they've got a decent squad. The one thing that I would say, or a decent team, is what I would say. I don't really have that much faith in West Ham's squad, but their starting 11 I think is strong. Now, to touch on Leicester's side of things in this game, obviously West Ham were very good. Some of their patterns of play, oh, beautiful. They could have scored more. Schmeichel actually made some very, very good saves right in front of where I was sat in the ground or stood. Down to his left, low left. They were very, very good saves. And so it could have been 5 or 6. But that's fine. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, from our side of things, it was just awful. Like, even before the red card, we were getting bullied. We were getting played off the park. It wasn't even a close contest. And that's when it's disappointing. I can handle my team losing a game of football. Right, it happens. It's part of the sport. You lose games. But when you lose a game and you don't really look like you ever had a chance, or even really had a good go at it, it's not as if we were playing against Man City or someone like that where, okay, you're sat back the whole time, soaking up the pressure, then maybe you'll try and fluke a counter-attack goal. Like, no. While West Ham played very well, they're not at that level where you should feel super intimidated. And so our midfield was really, really poor. Tielemans did not have a good game. Maddison may as well not have played. Perez didn't really do anything at all. The fullbacks weren't very good. And Marty, he actually wasn't that bad. Soyuncu, though, for the second goal, what was he thinking? Oh, it was just a shambles. Now, the one thing that I'm going to hope that this game brings is, let's get all of our stupidity, our terrible mistakes, poor passing, poor positioning, let's get all of that out the way in one game instead of spreading it over like 3 matches. So conceding, let's say, 3 goals in 3 games due to stupid errors and terrible plays and mistakes is much worse than conceding like 3 goals in one game from the same thing. So I'm hoping that it was a blip, an outlier game where we just didn't look on it at all. So that's got to be the hope here. But again, take nothing away from West Ham. They fully deserved to win yesterday. And honestly, it was a bad away experience in terms of the game. Like the actual stadium and everything like that, it did feel like stuff has... I know that they've said that they've moved the seats slightly closer to the pitch this season. It still looked really, really far away if you're at the side of the pitch, but if you're at either end, we were pretty damn close. So that was good. It felt more like an actual football ground. Although when I previously went, I was up in the top tier, so I don't know how that would feel still nowadays. But I really, really love the area of London Stadium and everything like that. It's really, really nice. And the atmosphere at the game, poof. There are a lot of people that talk about the lack of atmosphere at that stadium. If it's anything like it was last night throughout this season, the support that West Ham are going to get from like the 12th man effect is going to be huge. That was rocking yesterday. And I know it's like the first home game that they've had back in 500 whatever days it is, and that will make a difference. But when you've got the support of your fans and when you are playing good football and stuff that they are enjoying watching and they actually have belief in the team and the spirit that they can actually do well and win games against teams that maybe in previous seasons they wouldn't have really had the confidence that they could beat, that's going to be big. And yes, they do have Europa League as well to deal with, just like ourselves. Maybe that will end up hindering them, as it may do us, with the extra games and workload on the smaller squad size than someone like City or whatever. That may suck. But I tell you what, from my point of view yesterday, we got destroyed. West Ham looked very impressive. There's a reason why they're top after 2 games, right? They're scoring a lot of goals, 8 goals in 2 games. Yes, they haven't kept a clean sheet yet, but that's fine. They are going to be thoroughly happy with how well they've started the season. On the other hand, as a Leicester fan, how are we feeling? Not great, to be honest with you. I mean, the Wolves game, yeah, we won, but we weren't great. And this game, we weren't even close to good. We were poor. So hopefully you enjoyed the vlog elements of this video, and I'd like to know your thoughts on the game. They're probably very similar to mine, that it was very one-sided. I mean, I don't even know how we managed to get a goal, to be honest. I mean, it was a fluke, wasn't it? It rebounded straight to him. It was like a FIFA goal, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's a bad one. We've got Norwich away next. Now, I'm going to that game as well. I'm going to vlog that one. Here's hoping I have a much better experience with that one. So if you do want to see that, you're enjoying these, thumb it up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one for hopefully a much more positive result. Goodbye.